Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Wave Italy Apex Racing League Prototype Championship Season 3 at the lovely Sebring International Raceway. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Marco Barbadera, and you're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
Yes, Austin, hello everyone, and welcome to the 4th round of the championship live from beautiful Sebring. I mean, the sun is setting, the prototypes are roaring, and we have a great surprise for you in store in just a second. But first, let's go through the championship standings, shall we? We start with the LMP1 guys. There they are, with Alexander Spets in front by 8 points over Lennart Hart and Simon Kaular's 3 teammates, with Olli Cole in 4th and Niklas Schneider in 5th in the LMP2 Pro category. There they are. Owen Carrill and Michael Mariani with Francesco Panetta. A lot of Italian flags in this championship. Lorenzo Castellani and Giuseppe Muglia, your top 5, very close at the top in here. And the LMP2 amateur category, it's Thomas Sorensen, Andy Ticehurst, and Merton Kerford, your top 3. Very, very close fight here as well, with Gerardo Iaconetti and Andy Thompson, all basically within the span of 6 points, chasing Sorensen, who's got 86. Austin, there we go. Drum roll, please, because thanks to the geniuses at SDK Gaming, we finally have not this, but this, the class split standings. I am so happy.
My hands hurt after smacking my wheel rim for that drum roll. But yes, the long-awaited class positioning separation timing tower thingy, timing tower separation by class is there. It shows currently the top 5 in each class and our own Andy Thompson, being a sandbagger in last place. Yeah, separation of LMP1, LMP2 Pro, and LMP2 AM, long requested by a lot of our drivers using SDK Gaming. Well, the Wizards have done it, and it's here now.
And it's absolutely amazing, and more importantly, qualifying has started. So, as per usual, solo qualifying, and we'll see the times populate on the top left of your standings. Austin, everyone knows this racetrack, but of course it's always a magical time when we are at Sebring. What can we expect from the Florida-based racetrack?
Well, there's a lot of bumps. It's going to be a lot of fun. The LMP2s, you know, they run here in the Sebring 12 hours and pretty much every special event. It's a gem on the IMSA calendar. And so the LMP2s, you know, there's tons of research going into this car. Everybody knows all the tricks, all the setups here. So it's going to be a all-out brawl in the LMP2s. Now, the LMP1s, they come here less frequently. The European Sprint Series did come here, and, you know, there's a few 6 hours ones with the LMP1, so they're going to have a little bit of time to springboard off of, but, you know, it's enough about the cars and who's prepared for this. It's going to be very tight. The bumps and the off tracks, like we just saw from Nicholas Schneider right there, going off a little bit, it's going to be very determining on how these cars drive throughout the race. The bumps, the traffic, the long straights are going to be pretty good for some very good battles, and traffic should play a big part, especially in that first sector. Andy Thompson said this, quote, "I was being murdered in Sector 1. This is going to be a chaotic race." Andy is running in the LMP2 AMs, so, you know, he's also offered his radio comms throughout the race, but I don't believe we're going to be using that unless, Marco, you have your censorship button very close by. Yeah, no, man, but we could get Andy for a quick mid-race chat, especially because now, thanks to this new system, you know, the big problem was we have such a big grid, and the timing tower on the left, we can extend it to have as many cars as we want, but at some point the space is going to run out, no? So the LMP2 amateurs especially were being left out of the picture, and this will make it much easier for you guys at home and for us to track what's going on in what is always a very, very competitive class. And so if we see that Andy is in the middle of nowhere, minding his own business, enjoying the scenery, we might have him, you know, have a chat with us to hear his perspective and see how he's dealing with this treacherous racetrack. I love this place. It's in my heart. You know, I've won my split of the 12 hours of Sebring a couple of years ago. The next year we tried again, didn't go very well. I think because we had Austin on board for that race. I didn't even get in the car and you're blaming it on me.
Neither did I. So.
we crashed out in like 15 minutes one year, right?
I mean, we didn't crash out. We were crashed out.
Yes, we were crashed out. And I was still blamed.
You can see the LMP1 Pro. LMP1, of course, only Pro category. No amateurs in there. And then you will see the LMP2s. There they are.
Oh, there we go.
It is
and
very
then
satisfying.
Our LMP AM, there it is.
I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. And it will work also during the race, and you will see when we select, for example, the LMP2 Pro drivers, we'll have an extended look at the standings in that class, as you can see right now. So really, you can't go wrong. And this is, of course, available to you to use in your live streams or league streams or whatever on your HUD while you drive. Go to sdk-gaming.co.uk for more information, and because iRacing Live Timing is such a versatile software for all sorts of uses you can imagine in sim racing, again, for broadcasting, for streaming, for driving, and for those big enduros. And this is a thing that I think will come in handy very, very much during the big enduros, when you want to spot for your teammates, prepare the strategy, control the fuel, and look at the track map as well. So Yes. By the way, don't forget to tell them that Marco sent you, but Ian Corbs, there is provisional pole in the LMP1s with 1/10.5 over Lennart Hart, so it's Audi over Porsche at the moment.
Yeah, Audi, Audi is just now taking second place right there as the Porsches just came in there and slammed down 2 times. 2 seconds faster than all the Audis.
But let's see, Corbs, yeah, he doesn't improve. You are right. Let's see Daniele Pizzo down in 6th, so Kaulars and Labbati 4th and 5th respectively. Michael Mariani in provisional pole in front of his teammate Francesco Panetta in P2 Pro. Zivi Zabo is in 3rd, whilst it's Roy Maas with Jack Geiler and Thomas Sorensen near top 3 in LMP2 AM, but Gerardo Iaconetti for 3D Rap jumps up into the 3rd spot in that series. So, few minutes left. Let's see who can jump on. I think Zabol Balog is on a good lap. Can he improve? He was massively far away, and now he's much better. 9/10 of a second away. Up into 6th, but let's see Alexander Spetz, if he hasn't gotten an off track there.
He's still going. He's not. He's still going, and he's still racing for that as we ride on board through Sunset Corner, taking it very wide. He's going to cut into the apex right there. Gets all the way to the wall. You can see on how bumpy that corner is, just being pushed up and down right there. The suspension is taking a massive beating. Spetz comes across the line to go pole position by 0.02 of a second. Spetz was speeding through there.
Well, a pedestrian lap for Lennart Hart, unless our graphic is wrong. So this might not be good enough. And it isn't good enough, not even for an improvement.
Yeah, he was really slow compared to he was 5 seconds off his pace what he originally set. That was a horrid lap by Lennart right there. Corb's second lap goes across there, doesn't improve as well. And you know what I think it is? It's going to be the separation between Audi and Porsche and how the recharge methods are going.
Yeah.
In LMP1, because you know it's got a few hard braking points, but you know that Porsche, it can regenerate a lot better than the Audi. And there's only a few key points where that Audi can really recharge around here. So they're going to have, you know, some laps where they aren't pushing. And then the Porsches are going to be having a much more consistent pushing laps, especially if they're always are deploying and have that deployment set to a very conservative amount. They're going to be able to use that boost when attacking and defending and still have enough to continue to slam down those lap times. And those Audis are really going to be struggling out there because in Road America, what we saw last time, they had a lot of opportunities to charge up the batteries. You know, here in Sebring, I can name you, we have about the same number, but it's not as intense of a braking zone as in Road America.
By the way, just a quick update on the qualifying bans for tonight's event. They are Hans Blackward, James Armstrong, Marco Arcidiacono, Maxim Zuewski, and Michael Youngblood. So, if you don't see these drivers on the track, that's why, as Corbs doesn't improve. And the start zone begins under the bridge. So
the Chevrolet Bridge or the Sebring Bridge?
Ah, right. No, it's the it's the Sunset Bend Bridge. It's the one in Sunset Bend.
There we go. There we go.
So neither of the
sensor right there.
No. So neither of the two, you know, because
neither of the two options I pointed out. I said pick A or B, and Marco chose C.
That's what got me. That's why I sounded confused. Maxim Zuewski, who has set a qualifying time, I'm afraid, so the stewards will not be very happy with that.
Yeah, you don't want to be setting a time when you serving the ban. You know that takes a spot up on the grid. Now it's worse in a standing start situation than a rolling start situation, especially if he's doing a pit lane start. But still, it's you know, he's out there not legally. unless he invalidates both laps. But you know, if you fail to invalidate a lap, it's
No, but I think the rule book, which I think was written by me back in the day, was that the moment you exit pit road, you are basically at fault. So unless they have changed,
I think Sam has allowed it.
Unless they changed my beautiful rule. You know, it make me very upset.
In the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup, we had drivers serving qualifying bans, but they were out on track, and as long as they didn't set a lap time, they were allowed to be out there.
So, starting grid, Austin, for tonight's race, and you have the LMP1, or at least the LMP1s that qualified. No, it's the LMP1s because they're all at the front. I'm stupid.
Yes, we have it as the class. Alex Betts takes pole position, followed by Leonard Hart.
Sorry.
In second place, Nicholas Schneider in third, in this very cramped grid. There we go.
Yeah.
They're followed by Jan Korbs, Carlos Abadi, Simon Calorats, and Santos Balog in 7th. Ollie Cole and Daniel Pizzo in 9th place, and behind them is James Armstrong and Marco Arisi DeCano at the end of our LP1 grid.
It's no, it's not. It's Marco Arcidiacono. I know everyone fell for that. David in the first round and Lee Thompson in the second one. It's a very difficult name for us Italians as well. So Marco Arcidiacono, of course, one of the pit lane starters. He will start together with the LMP1s at the back of the field. So, Austin, I forgive you for that. Michael Mariani, pole sitter for the LMP2 Pros, in front of Owen Carroll, Francesco Panetta and Daniel Zivisapo. Lorenzo Castellani in front of Giuseppe Mugliani, Julius Brown, Maxim Suevski, and Lorenzo Zoffoli in P18. Then we have Omar Rovledo, Roy Mas, your pole sitter for the LMP2 AMS, in front of Jack Geiler, Anders Illejordet, Connor Gibb, Gerardo Iaconetti, Andrea Petanella, Thomas Sorensen, mix of Pro and AMS, of course, at this point, James Parker, Martin Tailgord, then we have Andy Tessers, Martin Kofod, and Sasha Lowe. Temu, it's Temu time, of course, in P32, the two LMP1s that will start at the front of the field, Riccardo Geroli, Hans Blackworth, and our own Andy Thompson for this 37 car grid.
Yeah, 37 cars on the grid and on the track right now. Prototype time behind our iRacing pace truck. You see the separation for our LMP1 class right here. The track is going to be all lit up by these headlights right here. We are racing underneath this Florida night sky right now. We do have some track lighting throughout the circuit right there. That one corner being Corvette Curve. And the Mobile 1 bridge heading into Hotel Hairpin. The front straight is also a little bit lit, but yeah, this is going to be very fun. Traffic is going to be a little bit more hectic right here. People are going to be in their mirrors and being blinded by flashing lights as well. And I believe there is a flashing light rule in effect, right?
I hope not. I like the
chaos.
I like the party effect, you know, with all the flashing lights.
Well, I'm pretty sure some drivers are not going to be happy with just cars that they're racing against, just flashing the cars and, you know, flashing the cars just trying to get by and, you know, pulling a BMW GTE team at Daytona 24 Hours against a Corvette. No, wait, no, that was Road America last year. Yeah, that was Petit Le Mans last year. Still not. No, that was Sebring this year.
Okay, you said like 4 or 5 different races, huh? So you know.
It was an IMSA race. I'm still salty about it. That BMW driver was just. I just hope that they're not flashing lights the entire time in people's eyes.
So the people are asking the pace track. Yes, it's the pace track. It's a long-standing tradition of this championship to have the pace track lead the way. Now it has no headlights, I think.
No, it does.
It does. So it's okay. So it's a bug that came with the. You're right. In the last build, they had this bug. They haven't fixed. Hopefully, we'll fix it. The pace cars don't have the red lights on at night for some reason.
Yes, but it does have headlights.
It does have headlights, but it's very, very dark. But if we see from the onboard camera here, you see how tall that is compared to these cars.
Yeah, you pretty much could pull a Clark Griswold if that thing was any taller than just driving it underneath the pace car. Though, luckily for our physics model and our sanity, we are not going to be seeing that. As the pace truck is pulling off into our start zone. It's going to be Sunset Bridge right there. They're keeping a very tight pat to that pace truck. You see Spets going way wide right there, slowing up right now as they go underneath the Sunset Bridge as we go. We're waiting for that start zone. Green, green, green here underneath the bridge as everyone checked up right there. They're 4 wide across the line right behind them as Spets is waiting to that last bridge right there to go on everybody. And, you know, gets a great run out there. As Schneider's noticing. Around in the background. That's Schneider in the wall.
LMP2 start.
LMP2 start also a little bit clogged up right there as we already have cars going 3 wide, maybe 4 wide in the background. Heading into turn 1 down to the inside. That is Panetta and Carroll side by side with it. We got a big crash in the background in the LP2 AMs.
Yeah, it's Lille Yard that Iaconetti was the, I think was one of the top cars, and Temu beating and banging with Morten Kofod in a Scandinavian battle. Back to the LMP1.
So that's a
massive wreck. Carlo Labati missed his braking marker, I think. A big crash in the back with Panetta and Zivisabu involved. Disaster all over the field as these first few laps in the darkness are proving to be very challenging. But I think Labati missed his braking spot by, I think, half a mile.
Oh, it looked like he was going for that move right there, heading into that corner. You see him in the draft, and he got a great run, looks down the inside, and yeah, he really missed that corner, and he takes out not 1 but 2 with 3 cars, including himself right there, and oh no. That is so unfortunate. He's towed back into the pit lane, and that's taken out a lot of competition in the LP1 field. We got 4 cars not affected by any sort of incident right there. The chaos behind it, even more chaos. Panetta's around. And
one of the favorites in the LMP2 Pro.
There's more chaos behind him. He's getting back onto the track. You see the flashing lights right on the exit of the track right there. There's a little bump and a banger right there. Back up to our LMP2 Pro. You see the field just spreading out wide. They're staying wide from the LP1s. The stricken LP1s. Big crash into the Sunset Bend wall in the background. Not sure who that was, but that car is totaled. Whoever just slammed into the wall right there. I think it might have been the LP1.
Yes.
Yeah, that was Schneider, and Schneider
he's trying to make it back to the pits after the wreck in the opening lap.
Yeah, that rear wing looks more like a modern hypercar than an LP1 car right there, but yeah, that is going to be the end of his, well, that's going to be his faster pair going. Do they have faster pairs? No, yes, that's his race.
There is one faster pair available for this driver.
There's one faster. Okay, so he has that going for it. He's just trying to avoid that tow time.
So, a big deep breath for us in the commentary box. Spets from Rart, from Curbs, Kaulars and Arcidiacono, your top 5 in the LMP1. Mariani, Muya and Castellani, the top 3 in LMP2 Pro, with Zuewski and Zoffoli in 4th and 5th. And then we have Jack Geiler in front of Connor Gibba. There is a lot of pro cars in between 1st and 2nd in LMP2. Thomas Sorensen is in 3rd, and we have Tydegard, Blackwell, Tyser Schofield and Thompson, your top 8. Sasha Lowe is in 9th, and Roy Maas, who I think was the pole sitter for LMP2 Pro, For LMP2, I'm sorry. Oh dear.
Oh,
Ooh.
Sasha chopped the nose off of Andrea. Andrea's right behind her, and it just seemed like they just panicked and they weren't expecting the nose chop right there, and just locked up the brakes and went around. No contact between them, but that was braking to avoid contact right there. Let's run on board with Jan Korbs in 3rd place.
Yep. Protocharge, eSports, Rukanor are 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Then we have DRS with Arcidiacono, Leo Racing Team with Pizzo, and another Rukanor Protocharge Simsport with Zabox Balog. This is your top 7, so still domination not only in numbers but also in pace from the guys at the what once was RLR team. So we had the Sunset Bend, we see now the bumps, typical. Oh, you know,
I can tell you from experience that those bumps underneath that bridge always get you, especially if you're really low to the ground and not in a street car. I did this back in the USF 2000, and that bump underneath the bridge just really gets you. It hammers it into your chest too, and you really feel it in your spine as well, because you're laying down in these extremely low to the ground cars. You're pretty much laying down most of the time. Now in these LMP cars, you're more upright, so you're going to have a little bit more cushion to it. But you know, those single seaters, man, it gets you.
Oh man, and I remember in the late 2000s, early mid to late 2000s, they used to have this race. Sometimes the LMP1s from Le Mans would take part, especially as a good endurance testing for Le Mans later in the year. But then until 2 years ago, the LMP1s in real life never came close to this place. And so they are not really designed for these bumps. Whilst the LMP2s, of course, they tackle a long variety of tracks, including this one in real life. These LMP1s, not really, familiar around here, but the drivers can survive. It's a very interesting experience, nonetheless. Of course, we know, Austin, how important Sebring is also for testing in the IndyCars come here every season. And there is the old adage that 12 hours at Sebring are more demanding than 24 hours at Daytona, and I think I can agree with that.
Absolutely, and I can agree with that 100%, because, a stint... Oh, big slide up there, big crash!
It's Brown.
Brown missed his break point, went around, I think, got into the grass on a turn-in, because just looking at his tires, he was already going around mid-corner, so I think just a little bit grass in the braking zone. Let's take a replay right here on Brown. Ooh, no. He's just locked up to avoid making contact right there.
He almost hit, I think, Lorenzo here, if I'm not mistaken, for Leo Racing Team. And he went off. So there's another Leo Racing Team car, Labati, who's 1 lap down, together with James Armstrong and Niklas Schneider, who was involved in that big shunt at the beginning lap, the opening lap. Spets leading the way and still gaining, and maybe you will appreciate on the top left the lap counter. There we go.
Yeah. 5 laps done by Alex Spets right now, leading out the field, and that chrome in the dark it really hides that car, but when you just get a little glimpse of light right there, it really shines. That's right on board of Rart in 2nd place on the other side of the straight right there. So he's chasing down that LP2 lapped car and race leader Spets. So we get a good shot of the Fox on the front nose. As let's take a look at our dancing dots of doom on our track map. You get to see the LP train leading. Oh, we got a little off track right in front of us right here. That's a LP AM car. And ooh, in the middle of the track. Hello, buddy. That's Sasha Lowe having an issue.
Yeah, let's get a replay. Sasha was getting through the opening portion of the first sector.
Oh, it's a little bit too wide right there, and got off track, got back online, and then the back end kicks out. Oh, off track again, and then just getting back on track. So it's just off track and track limits right there for Sasha Lowe, and they're back out there as this is Tom Sorensen holding up Francesca Pineda.
Yes.
Sorensen in third in the ants. Pineda sitting in 12th place. And this is where we're seeing that gap. Here comes Pineda looking down the inside, heading into Sunset Bend. Side by side, they're going to go. And down to the inside goes Pineda. Big send through there. Pineda back up to 22nd overall, but doesn't change in class. And I love this timing tower.
It doesn't, because Sorensen is in the AM series, but Panetta was one driver that was very, very quick in qualifying in his class and has had a trouble in the first lap. But still, despite all of this, we still have, like last week, 3 Italians in the top 3 places in LMP2 Pro. Mariani, Muya and Castellani. Now let's see if they can hold their position. You know, it's incredible that every Italian team and driver is doing better than Ferrari in motorsport, both real and virtual. Sorry, I need to get my shot in.
Oh. You weren't wrong, though.
Yeah, Temu is going with the press in the clutch in the braking area. Maybe he does it again. See?
Yeah.
Saving a bit of fuel, whatever it takes to get a shorter stop.
Yeah, Timu with the clutch downshifts. That's the first I've seen that. That is a tight move by Timu, and it's Timu time right there at Le Mans Corners, up to 11th in his class. He makes that overtake on Connor Gibb. Nope, that was Gibb in second place in the LP2 class, and
yes.
Yeah, there's Connor.
Okay, Austin, I think I have what we need. Relative.
Roy
Massa. Roy Massa, terrible race for him. He started so far ahead in the LMP2 Anfield, but not his night, and he's trying to rejoin. And he does so, but he's the last of the running cars overall, so a tough day at the office. Oh man, near come. Is that one of the leaders? It wasn't. It was one of the back markers in the LMP1 field. But lap traffic is not that far ahead. Matter of fact, of course, it has already started, as you can see on the minimap.
Yeah, it's really tight right here. We got 2 LMP1s in a LMP2 train. Simon backing off right there. Not going to fight this fight right here. Then off the exit, the LMP1s just get up and go right there. Shoot past the LMP2s. And they can't make it to the other one, so it's going to be a waiting game. And that's what we're going to be seeing from the LMP1s throughout this race. Constantly getting the exits out of the corner and getting a better exit and jumping. No jump right there for Corbs up ahead. He's going to have to wait till this time. Shoots all the way to the other side of the track. He's going to get 1 and 2. And can Kalerats get the other one right there? He's going to give it in the braking zone right there. He has to send it in there. And, we're going to be seeing a lot of that throughout today.
You just have to love the ebb and flow of the gaps in endurance racing, sports car racing in general, when the lap traffic comes into play. It really is that extra bit. I mean, endurance racing has 1,000 different reasons why it's very interesting. This is the 1,001. You know, there is always something extra that makes it more interesting, and the way the traffic management aspect of the game is one of the things that fascinates me the most, both as a top class driver, but also equally importantly in my opinion as a slower class driver, because being lapped at the right moment can really make you lose as little time as possible on a given lap. So it seems sometimes that the lap lapping problem is only for the fast guys, but also the guys in the other classes have a lot to lose and a lot to gain in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I know some slower classes, you know, and some of that is class intermingling. I know the GT3's GTE class, they were very tightly similar in ways with braking and car control, but it was all on top speed that separated them and acceleration. But with the GTEs going the way of the Dodo right now, and IMSA just going to GT3s and LMP2, I feel like we might see a little bit less multi-class car memes on the iRacing Reddit.
I mean, depends on what LMP3. It's still gonna be there. It depends what LMP3s do, you know, if they still exist. I think they are, you know. It seems like I understand why LMP3s were got into the because it was at the time where we had a poor LMP2 field with a decent DPI field, but now the DPIs are of course getting close to a second boom, in my opinion, with the new LMDHs coming through, with a lot of great manufacturers confirmed and already presenting their car, as we have Mariani, our leader in LMP2 Pro. By the way, he has some fans in the chat. Davide Mariani, clearly related, and you know, supporting Michael. And Michael is having a fantastic race so far, 2.7 seconds over the rest of the field in his class, of course, second place. It remains to be seen what they will do. Oh, Corpse in the daisies.
Oh, this day is not good for him. Also, we do got another incident as well with the LMP2 car earlier on the lap, as this is what happens to Corpse. He's missed his breaking point 2 in the same corner where that massive crash was in lap 1.
Let's see what happened to Hans Blackwart. He towed back to the pits. Another driver that had a very good qualifying. No, it's always him, so sorry. I apologize to Hans. He's having a tough day out there.
Oh, that curve.
This is going to be it, unfortunately. So, a disappointing race for Hans after a very good qualifying, as we have Zivisabo, Pettanella, and Armstrong having a little bit of an argument.
Yeah, side by side. I'm taking this spot. You are not taking this spot. They had an LMP1 car also as well. They're going to continue this fight right here. Nose to tail, Daniel Civisasbo and Andrea Pentatella right behind it. Pentatella looking down low, and Daniel's going to have to defend down low as he continues to hold on right there. But very tough, tightly fought race right here.
Labati going past Zoffoli as he's trying to get back to, you know.
Pentatella, we got off of him. He's had an issue at the curb exit where we just saw Hans have that issue, and Pentatella is dropping down the field.
See Pettanella, what happened to him? He was dealing with the car in front of him.
Yeah, he was racing with Sissy Salzbo.
No, I think it was Gibbs. No, it was Civisabo, sorry.
And
yes,
off track, and just the same as we saw that into the wall right there.
Now, Austin, we saw in the first 3 races, no, sorry, this is round 4. So in the first 2 races, we saw half of the LMP1 field stop at the 20-minute mark. But not last week at Road America, which was a very, very long racetrack. Do you expect to see the same here? Or do you think we're going to have this split strategy back once again?
Well, with what they were saying last week is, you know, I just kept on going and until I needed to, because everybody stopped early to try to get a jump on the traffic. But with everybody stopping early, they made their own traffic, and the winning strategy was just go as long as you can and then stop. And I feel like the going as long as you can, this traffic's going to be more spread out later on in the race, and you aren't going to be having to deal with that massive train issues. So I'm leaning on more drivers are going to start favoring towards that longer side now that the traffic's going to be there. Also, the risk of running out of fuel is going to be a thing. So I'm expecting more drivers to extend this, but there's certainly going to be some drivers that are going to be stopping very early and trying to do the reverse of that. But after all that chaos that we saw here, I'm expecting just everybody to take it as long as we can. That is a very big dive, and I can tell you, Owen Carroll is not happy right there.
And also
not happy at all.
LMP1 going through. Never mind me, says the LMP1. I'm minding my own business.
He goes off track.
You're right.
That's
was
Ollie Cole.
No, wasn't that Jawor's Balog? Oh, side by side once again.
Huh? Oh, that is tight right there. And Panetta leaves a spot to Owen Carroll. And it was Balog.
Okay, back to the action.
Yeah, back to the action. And Owen Carroll was on the mic with that incident. You know, he's on the outside right there. That dive by Panetta just down the inside. He responded with, okay. And he's now got that spot back.
This is the biggest regret I have all these years of broadcasting. Not having the audio on for the, you know, not being able to keep the audio on for the comment, for the, you know, in-race chat, because I'm sure I've missed some pearls over the years as Panetta goes back in front.
He goes back in front, but he's right beside him right there. There is no room left for Owen. Owen's going to try to hold around the outside, but has left no room off the exit. Panetta squeezes by in a 10th place, but here comes Owen Carroll with a head storm of steam right now, looking around the outside, side by side, heading into the hotel hairpin. This is where that incident was. There's a late lunge by Owen Carroll. He's not going to hold it around the outside. He's going to go for the switchback right there. Panetta goes up and wide as Carroll round the outside there with the switchback move back into 10th place.
Look
and
at this,
Spets.
Look at this, Austin. Okay. So we were wrong, of course. That's pretty usual.
I was wrong.
I mean,
I think you were right. You said we might see it again, and yes, we are seeing this again. But you can
come on,
never
I'm sending you a lifeline. You know,
It's one car out of the entire field that's pitting this early. Is that the right choice? We don't know. The right choice is going to show us at the end of the race. I feel like it's still a little bit too early, because if you bring up the track map right here, he's going to be coming out in the back of all the LMP2 traffic.
That is.
I am completely wrong, like always.
And here comes Balog, so another taker. So we have Balog and Spets both with the Audis taking the plunge. Arcidiacono and Lerart are the two leading Porsches, of course, in first and fourth momentarily. Temporarily, I should say. Here we have Geroli with Rovledo. We also have position changes because Armstrong and Schneider and Labati are making their way through the LMP2 field as cars on the same lap, which is, of course, doubly tricky because they don't have blue flags. Here we go. The SRC Mivano driver on the inside. Can he make it stick? I think he can.
Yes, he can. There's a little bit of slide by Omar on the outside right there. Owen Carroll back in this fight for 10th place in the LMP2 AMs. Balancing in the hairpin. Owen Carroll back into 10th place, but here comes Francesco right behind him. Francesco looking around the outside. He's got the speed. Carroll's got that inside line, but now the track's going to shoot to the left now. Carroll's going to have to really hold Panetta to that inside line, and he does. Held it around the outside. And Panetta, big lunge on the outside. Not going to get there. Looking for that switchback move. And it's not going to happen. Carroll and Panetta, this is a brilliant blockbuster fight between them for 10th place.
And Panetta not giving up. Carroll, of course, not giving up himself. This is a beautiful, brilliant fight. Let's go on board with the Italian driver. As Muya gets 45.552, the fastest lap of the LMP2 Pro field so far.
Here
Look
comes
at
Panetta.
He's closing in. Will he go for the dive? It's going to be brave.
So he was really going for it. Down the inside right there. They're going to be side by side. And they had a Gibb right behind them.
Oh, 3 wide.
3 wide for a
Pretty
little
free.
bit. As LP1 just passes along. As that was
on the outside. Oh, this is dangerous.
Oh,
Thank you
beauty.
very much. Great pose as per usual. Once again for your 5 Swiss francs that you just donated. I love Switzerland. Thank you very much.
And while during that, Panetta came up to a lap car right there. I'm not sure who that was. It was one of the AM drivers that was just going pretty slow right there. Though I'm not sure who it was. But they really held up Carroll on a chance to fight back right there. It wasn't Connor Gibb.
No,
Connor
Connor was
behind him.
closing
It was,
in. He was closing in on them before, and he's still closing in on them as they keep on, messing with each other. By the way, Austin, I meant to show you the weather. There it is.
76 degrees. Air temp and track temp are nearly similar right there, so we shouldn't be seeing any discrepancies. 7-mile-per-hour wind with the wind direction going northeast right there. So that will be providing a little bit of a headwind and a crosswind heading into turn 1.
Mariani answers to Muya with 45.435, another fastest lap of the race in LMP2 Pro. Geiler has got 8.6 seconds over Gibb, which I think is making his debut in this championship. Is Connor Gibb, so he's having a very good debut. And Martin Tailgård fight for third in the AM class. He just went past Thomas Sorensen because Sorensen had a bit of an off.
Yeah, we got to see what happened to Thomas right here. Ooh.
Oh, that's a bit more. This is a bit more than an off.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's pitting for repairs, I would imagine. He should be okay
So
to finish.
I completely messed up my wind directions. It's not a headwind, crosswind heading into turn 1. It's a tailwind heading into turn 1, and a tailwind heading into Andretti corner, which is the point immediately after Hotel. Now, it's only 7 miles per hour, but it does relieve a little bit of downforce that these drivers rely on. And we've been seeing most of the mistakes happen at Andretti right there.
The world population is incredibly happy that Austin hasn't taken up the air traffic controller job.
It's also the reason why I'm not allowed in the air traffic controller position.
And we go with Mariani on board with him, 45.642, 3.3 seconds. I see the lap time comparison, by the way, between himself and his closest rival Giuseppe Muia. And you can see ebbing and flowing, as one would expect at the pointy end of a multi-class race, especially in LMP2. You can see a couple of good laps for Mariani after a couple of good laps for Muia, and a good lap for Mariani in lap 11. So ebbing and flowing, as we were saying, and it's likely to be like this all the race long. But if you can get into the pits with 3.5 seconds, it's a very, very good place to be come the end of the race when the pit stops come. And Andy Ticehurst from 4th in class is in, and so is Owen Carroll. So Carroll was battling with Panetta. Maybe he said,
Mart's in there.
Better if I pit. Yeah, all the LMP1s are pitting basically. We're
not
only
all
missing,
of them. Corb stayed out.
We are only missing 3 cars.
Marco.
We are only missing 3 cars. So almost.
And we were waiting for one car last time, and that was the race winner who waited all the way nearly until his engine went dry. And, that car ended up winning the race. It's all about traffic management, as we were saying. So we're really got to see on how this goes out. But, Spets was the first car that went into the pits. He's currently, the gap to him and first is separated just about 20 seconds. Okay, it is 15 seconds. So Spets is on the faster timeline right there. And there's no traffic in between them right now, so he's just, you know, he's picked the right time to go, and the traffic seemed to work in his way.
I think Corbs, Arcidiacono, and Pizzo are going to be in very soon at this point, because there is no way. I mean, you are right, Spets has got a clean track, so they really need to get in before they get into the... There is a bit of LMP2 traffic in front of them, you know, so they might have to go in now.
We were joined in the mic in the comms box shortly by a one of our co-commentators, Joaquin Arias. I don't know why he was here. Was he co-commentating the series with us?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Well, he's back with us right now.
Sorry, I just wanted to check, what are you guys commentating?
We're doing
Good evening, gents.
That's a first. That is seriously a first. I've never had that happen to us on live broadcast.
We were saying about
Pit stops and traffic.
pit stops. Yes, exactly. So Arcidiacono now.
Yeah, he's leading Spets by 8 seconds, so he's just out there trying to build his time, but there's no traffic behind him. The only traffic I see on track for the LP1s, look at the train of 5th, 6th, and 7th. In the 5th, 6th, and I am not sure, I believe that's a lap car right there behind 6th place. But the LP1 classes from 4th place has got a little bit of a train going on.
Yes, they have, and Battle Box is there to show it.
Yeah, Mark got out ahead of that, but you know, behind him is a little bit of a train of Audis. And that Porsche is getting up and going right there.
See, Arcidiacono goes for another lap. Pizzo goes for another lap as well. There is Spets.
So we hit halfway mark. We've had half of the LMP2 field go into the pits, and the other half of the LMP2 staying out. Now, they don't have to worry about traffic that much, but they're still going to have to time it out with the LMPs and how they stay out and go in. Now, they do have to spend 10 more seconds in the pit stop than the LMP1 cars. So it's going to be very interesting to see on how that plays out with all of them. The last car, the first car of the LMP2s to go into the pits, well, the leading LMP2 car that has gone into the pits is Maxim Zveski in the 111 right there. So, and our top 5 the top 5 in the LMP2 field is Italian. Marco, does this bring a big national pride to you?
I mean, I told you they are better than Ferrari.
Well, they're showing it right here. You know, Dallara, the best Italian car out there. We're not sponsored to say that, but it is the truth.
Absolutely, and more importantly than that, I wanted to bring up very quickly the pit stops. You can see big zeros all around the LMP2 field. Both Pro and, of course, our friends in the amateur class, apart from Sorensen, Iaconetti, and Ticehurst that they have already stopped.
On board of Calorat's behind Lenarart. You can see the speed they're heading into turns 1 and 2. And you can still see the bumps that they're going through now. usually when you're driving, you don't really notice that you're getting affected by these bumps at all because you're focused on the next corner. And it's like, oh, they say the track is really bumping, but I don't see it. But you know, if you got a direct drive wheel or a wheel with your force feedback turned up, you could really feel the bumps getting affected right there. Say navigate that lap traffic with ease. Bernard shows down low. Simon on the outside right there. And everything is going down easy street for them. But, you know, battle for fourth right now, nose to tail up in this traffic. And it's always fun to see LP1 cars battling close together and then around traffic because they're just really it's just really cool on which lines that they take, and when you're that lapped car, it's just run away moments. Ticers coming out of the pits.
With his second stop, this is only 4 seconds, so I would imagine a quick repair for him. Geiler 46.224, that's the fastest lap of the race in his class, and still waiting on Marco, who's continuing. At this point, I would imagine until his tank runs dry and is bringing Daniele with him, but Spets is getting closer and closer, and we'll have to fight these guys sooner rather than later. A reminder that the LMP2 AMs are scored globally together with the LMP1 and LMP2 Pros, so that's why you see Pros and AMs fighting in the LMP2, because they are scored again globally. This is something to keep in mind about as Panetta and Geiler are going at it.
Yeah, but still, we love to separate our things. That's a LP2 car way off and going off as Panetta gets off to the grass, almost makes contact with Jack Geiler right there as that slow LMP2 car. Oh, that was Andy Thompson. That was Andy Thompson who was off the track right there and almost caused that massive crash. And Marco, you missed a gem. Andy, what are you doing?
As we have the top 3 pitting, maybe the top 4 in LMP2 Pro.
Yes.
Top 5.
Top 5?
Not Zivisabo.
Zivisabo was in 6. He passed 3 cars on pit entry.
And Temu as well is staying out.
Yeah, so top 5 all synchronizing into the pit lane. But it's not just them. We got about 8 cars, 9 cars in the pit lane right now. Michael Mariani is farthest in the chat. Giuseppe Mila in the pits as well. Francesco Pineda, Castellini in there. Zafoli, as we're going to have a race off of pit road right there. They're side by side heading up to the line. Oh, who's going to get his pit limiter first? Are they going to come out inside of each other? No, they are not. That always leads to very bad jokes.
That was also a lapped car.
Ah.
I think, yeah, in front of Castellani, yeah, it's a lapped car.
Oh, Lorenzo is probably just like, come on, let me by. He's stuck behind the AM LMP driver, the 261, and there's the flash of the lights. That's Tice. Is that Ticehurst?
It is.
It is Ticehurst. Quality control racing down to the inside. He lets him by, and you know, pit stops are now being served hot and ready for the LMP2s. Telgard, Parker, and Kofed getting out of the pits. The only ones that haven't gone is Super Southwell, Timu, Pizzo in LMP1, and Marco in LMP1 as well in that Porsche. So 5 cars have not gone to the pits. There it goes, Marco. 4 cars now. Andy Thompson, our co-commentator, is not in the pits yet. When it goes, ooh, that's a Andy Thompson's off. I was going to suggest Poliovid to ask, hey, what's your strategy on fueling? I feel like his strategy right now is just keeping it out of the grass.
You know, he's more keen to give us his strategy on gardening as of this moment, as Spets retakes the lead from Rars, from Corps. We love you, Andy, of course, number 1. And fantastic work he does behind the scenes at ARL and Apex Racing TV.
As I learned from the Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warriors on Sundays, it's a co-commentator's book of laws to A, point out that he's a co-commentator of ours, and B, just poke a little bit of fun.
That's why I never race on Apex Racing TV. Because the last time I did, I crashed in a straight at battles at night while controlling the live timing, so...
At least you weren't adjusting a fan. Which is a classic clip.
So we have Riccardo Geroli and Zivi Zabo, and they have a lapped car in front of them. Which I think...
it's a pro car. I'm not sure.
No, it's a green car, so it's an amateur car.
277. Yeah, it is the amateur car of Roy Moss.
With a quick car, because again he was at the very front of the field after qualifying.
LP1 in the background. Big send on CV Salzbo. And ooh, he had to really chop that corner and right ahead of Garoli. And CV Salzbo went from a battle from 10th. He's now sitting in 4th place after that pit stop cycle. What a run, and what a strategy, and what a stop by Danielle right there to really make that work.
We saw him in LMP1 in seasons past of this championship, now in the LMP2, and he's having a fantastic run here, trying to threaten this all-Italian podium. He's 10 seconds behind Castellani, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know in this situation. Anything can happen.
Oh, Alexander Spetz with a big problem.
Oh, no! Race leader.
Thankfully, he has a massive advantage, but that was Easy's car. Okay, let's see the replay.
Lapped car, he is not happy. I'm not going to repeat what he said on the radio. But there is a crash up ahead of him. A car spun, and no!
Who was that?
F3. F3. You always got to use F3 right
Might
there.
have been Morten Kofod.
I think it might have been. Alexander Spetz just said, you ruined my race. You ruined my race. So he might have. I think Spetz has damage. Yeah, Spetz does have damage, suspension damage.
And he's speeding.
Spetz is in the pits.
He's speeding. He's speeding. Just another quick replay before we cut to that, because Temu is not Temu time anymore, unfortunately. He has towed back to the pits. Oh no!
Oh no! Into the grass and into the wall! Well, it's Temu towing time, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to be a catchphrase that sticks. And Leonard Hart is is in the lead now here in the LP1 field. Spetz demoted down to 4th, and I still can't believe that incident. It's just one of those mistakes that when you feel like you're in the clear, he makes a mistake and he gets onto the track right there. It's just unfortunately, right in front of him. And, you know, Spetz does have a right to be upset right there.
So Spetz now is down to 4th. He's 4 seconds in front of Arcidiacono and 8 seconds behind Simon Kaulars. So this is not good for his chances at the podium, because Austin, incredibly,
LMP1s.
I love this series. And the fact that I love it is that we are already 43 minutes into a 1-hour race, and time has gone by in an instant.
Be glad that you don't have radio on right now.
No. I mean, I'm glad, because you know, it would be a mess to clean up the broadcast, but I'm so jealous, you know.
Let me tell you, it feels like I'm listening to a Bill Burr rant. And I feel like his chat was just muted until the end of the race. Can we do this after the race and not right now was just said, and then no word was said after that. But oh my gosh, you know, I love the FIA integration of driver radio. I feel like we need to have a similar thing where we can pick and choose which radio we can hear, censor out some of that stuff, because oh man, you can feel you can really feel the heated tension between some of these drivers.
So, Austin pit stops are done. Let's have through the field of each class. Top 5, Lena Rart is leading the way in LMP1 Pro after the crash for Alexander Spets. Ian Curbs is in second place. And Simon Callas, now we talked about the Italians at length. 3 German flags atop that LMP1 field, so they are certainly dominating that aspect of the race. Congratulations to not only 3 German drivers, 3 teammates as well. So, and driving just like the Italians are driving the Italian car, they are driving. Of course, there is not a lot of option. It's not like you can get creative.
Audi, they're both German.
Exactly, but it's still, it still works. Alexander Spets is in 4th. There is trying to come back, and Marco Arcidiacono finally having a decent race after a tough beginning of the championship for him. He's sitting it down in 5th place. Michael Mariani very comfortably leading the LMP2 Pro. He's been doing this since the very beginning of the race, and is in front of Giuseppe Muglia for 3D Lap Squadra Corsa, and the Leo Racing team number 146 of Lorenzo Castellani. Then there is the exceptional Zivi Zabo, who is having a fantastic race, as only called pits once again. Probably he had just a quick stop earlier for repairs. And Riccardo Geroli for SRC Mivano Jr. down in 5th place. This is your top 5 in the LMP2 Pro. LMP2 Amateurs, Jack Geiler is enjoying a nice day, I wouldn't say in the sun, but under the moon. 21 seconds, Austin, over Martin Tailgård. And then we have Thomas Sorensen in 3rd, Connor Gibb, the newcomer, in 4th, and Morten Kofod down in 5th place. We have only 4 cars out of the race. James Armstrong, Teemu Milikangas, Niklas Schneider, and Julius Braun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know how you said he's enjoying the sunshine. Well, actually, he's enjoying the moonlight right now, running through the country, lit by the moonshine. That's kissing the ground right there. That's what we say when you're running around the backwoods with your lights turned off. That's why they also called it moonshine, because you're driving by the moonshine with your lights off to avoid detection by the cops when you're running moonshine.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say I'd like to have some moonshine in in the commentary box right now, but then I got confused. I said maybe I've been mistaking that word all along, but no, right? Moonshine.
No, you're completely right. That's
AKA
where that word came from.
Moonshine, AKA not very legal alcohol, right?
Alcohol that's not made in a certified facility.
Perfect. I'd like to have some of the. In Italy we like to do homemade super alcoholic, things like we don't make vodka, but things like vodka, these very high alcohol content drinks. We like to make these liqueurs, I think you would say. And they are very, very, very good, and they especially. We like to drink them during the holiday period, so it's not a holiday period and a holiday dinner without someone bringing some homemade alcoholic beverage. So I'm really looking forward to it. But back to the action.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the most accurate term for moonshine, because technically all beer can be. All alcohol can be made moonshine during those days, but the most common moonshine was the homemade moonshine that people would make on their own and then they would deliver at night. That's what my family has been around.
Here comes Levski.
Well, that's a big look right there. He's just sitting on the inside, not really sending one, but a little bit of a mistake by Lorenzo up ahead. And here comes Maxime Zuewski getting in that draft, looking down to the inside, heading into a drink. Now, there's a tailwind heading into here. Big brake move, and there is just a little bit less room on the apex. Not going to be able to get that move back there. Wonderful defense by Lorenzo, just leaving enough space, but not enough to really give him the confidence to really send one into there. And, you know, they are behind that lapped car.
So, Austin, maybe we can say alcohol being produced and sold without the approval of the government.
That's what I was going with the first time.
Perfect. But you only said produced in a but also sold. That probably is also, you know.
No,
and this, of course. No, yeah, okay, yeah, of course. But well, whatever. Basically, also that is the reason, one of the reasons why we have NASCAR, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So yeah, perfect. It all makes sense in the end.
Yes, it does. As they got past that lap car right there, actually 7th in the AMs. I'm not sure who that is.
It's Tysars, 261.
Yeah, it was Andy Tysars. Maxime looks down the inside, heading into turn 1. Just a little bit of room for him to go right there, but that would have been this one-way ticket down Disaster Street right there. And you don't want to be visiting down there with 10 minutes to go in this race, especially when you're fighting for top 6 in class in the LMP2 Pros.
And behind them, here come the overall leaders. It's very close battle at the front. Rart, Kurbs and Kaudars. There is 4.5 seconds separating them. Alexander Spets is on a massive charge and he's about to get back to Kaudars. Let's see the lap time comparison. And it's incredible how much he is pushing.
Yeah, 1 second here, 1 second there. Spets is chasing him down. Now we got 10 minutes left. So I think Spets can save a P3 right here. I know he has it in him. It's just the traffic around him is going to have to work with him for this to really make it certain. But he does have the pace to close it down and make that move. As here's our overall race leader. Has to deal with a LMP2 car right there. Tysers once more. He's been he's seen it all right there. As there he goes past the 112. And there is Colorad's behind him.
And the gap should update, hopefully, so we can see the comparison between Simon and Alexander.
And I'm pretty sure he's not 275 seconds behind him.
Yeah, so let's see if this time by the graphic update. Yeah, okay, this is
hey,
better.
There we go.
Labati is off.
Oh no.
Last of the running LMP1s is Carlo. Another bad race for him, unfortunately. And Zivisabo, unfortunately, ruining his comeback. Oh, unlucky Daniel. And he drops down to 6th and now 7th. Oh, no.
Almost came in front of the LMP1 leaders right there. And that would have been a bad crash. But this is what happened to Daniel. We've been seeing troubles happen throughout all the day. This driver's getting onto that curb, getting shot out. And he somehow kept it out of the wall right there. But still, it's a mistake. He got stalled sideways. And he's dropped down out of the top 5 and into 8th right now. So that fight that we were watching for 6 is now the battle for 5th. And, you know, that's just a little bit more incitement for Zaveski to really send one in there. But look behind him. They got 3 charging LMP1s right there in that podium fight. And this is going to get very tense very quickly right now, especially if you're Zaveski or Zafali. Because he can look for, Maxine can look for a move down the inside right here. And look who is behind this fight. He is chasing down Caloratz. He's chasing down 3rd right now. And this is traffic working in his advantage. Because the other cars didn't have traffic, did have traffic heading into the corner. He didn't have traffic leading out of the corner. And there is Alex Spets on the back of Simon. And oh no, Patanella Andrea is off right there. But Simon Caloratz is caught by Spets. 7 minutes to go.
And Kaudars is closing in on Corps as well. So they are all bunching together from 2nd down to 4th. This is going to be great to follow. Maxim Zuevski again with Zoffoli, as you were saying, the problem for Petanella, Zivisabo, Keril, Rovledo, and Panetta, LMP2 Pro delivering today. So we always have one class that's already been decided, or 2, and 1 that is not. Today we have 2 classes in the balance, maybe not for the victory, but for the podium positions or the top 5. LMP2 AM seems to be, fingers crossed for Jack Geiler, the one that's already in the books right now. But really, we have now the split standings. We should have the split screen. That's more on iRacing than our software makers, unfortunately.
Yeah, and, you know, we're going to have a little bit more action. 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. Nose tail, they're going through traffic right now, heading into Le Mans. And it's 1 Porsche versus 2 Audis. So, and Alex Spetz is the man on a mission right now. And here he goes, gets that boost out of the corner, down to the outside on the straightaway. Alex Spetz back onto the podium here in LMP1 with just 6 minutes remaining, and almost a switch check opportunity by Simon trying to get there. And you can see the flash of the lights, definitely not happy. He feels like he got his nose chopped off and he had to avoid that. And that's what he's flashing the lights about. And they did lose a lot of time, but now Spetz let loose once more. He's going to try to catch up to Corbs.
Rovledo and Panetta side by side as Zivisabo finally makes his way to the pits to do some repairs. Oh, Panetta looking on the inside. Panetta has been very brave, very decisive all race long. Can he keep it on the track? He can. Better run from the Spaniard there, side by side between the pair of them.
Oh, there's a walk-up right there he goes.
Omar with a mistake. The battle goes in favor of the Italian. But let's see if Spetz can close the gap on curbs in this final 4 minutes and change of this race.
He's got Giuseppe ahead of him, the LP2 Pro, currently, no, Castellini. He's got Giuseppe Lorenzo ahead of him. There it is,
yes.
That's who I was looking for. Lorenzo ahead of him, and you see he got past easily, but Spetz is closing in. He gained 2/10 there.
If you won the first lane,
he's gaining a little bit more time, and he got him on the straight. Oh, if you're Corbs, you're seeing that relative close down on you, and you're just like, how long in the race? You got 4 minutes left, buddy. You got to really get pushing it, or else Spetz is going to get you.
Let's see this lap. How did it go? Constant gains despite the overtakes from Spetz. Let's see lap 34. Alpha second.
5/10. At this point, Spetz is just going to be catching him at the wrong time, wrong place. But Alex Spetz is really putting down the lap times where they're Corbs ahead of him. He's like a sitting duck. They're coming up to another lapped car. And Corbs is seeing where he's catching him. And he's like, no, not again. In the hairpin. And he's going to be slow off the, heading into the corner. And here's Spetz out of the corner. But I don't think Spetz is going to be able to close it in, as this is Lorenzo Zafoli around.
He was in 5th in class. He's 5th no more. Zuewski goes past, Keril goes past, Panetta goes past. The curb out of 1, LMP1 goes by, and then...
oh, no space, no space.
The 111 of Maxim. Big collision.
No space right there. 1 second separates Corbs and Spetz now. Less than 3 minutes to go. Spetz, fastest purple sector 3. Gained 2/10 right there. Last lap was half a second faster. Rod comes across the line with just 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. We got 2 laps remaining here at Sebring. Corbs is looking in his mirrors. What?
Another half second gained by Spetz on Corbs this lap. 4.73. And traffic.
Oh, I look at the traffic that Corbs being affected by. And Spetz off the exit gets him. Didn't have to deal with any of that. And that's the leader up ahead of him. This might turn into the battle for the lead as Spetz and Corbs are still battling in the hairpin. Corbs gets caught up by an LP2 car in the middle of the hairpin, gets caught out, has to check up, or the Spetz had to check up too, but look at that gap between them, Spetz and Corbs. Pretty much a nose tail right now. Spetz diving it up the inside of an LP2 lapped car. as Alex Betts is right there. And that is not the race leader, LMP1 car. That car is still 3 seconds ahead. I thought it was earlier, but no, that's the LMP2 car. And Spets catching up to him right on turn entry. Not going to be losing that much time, but he is right with there. But this lap has to be one of the best opportunities that he's had. Alex Spets, as there is Linhart Rart up in front. Heading around Sunset Bend. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go here at Sebring. So there's Corbs and Spets. Nose to tail now. 7/10 separate them, but with Spets behind you, that's like an arm's length away. 6/10 gain that lap. Corbs, he's in high pressure zone right now. He's got to get into his bag of defensive tricks if he wants to hold Spets behind. Spets looking with anger, trying to go back for that second place spot, and here he comes. No opportunity heading into the hairpin this time. For once, Corbs is not being caught by not catching a lap car heading into there. He is catching a lap car up ahead, and they're going to be catching him heading into Le Mans, or just heading into this next corner right here, as here is Corbs and Spets. And yeah, they're going to be catching this car on this exit, so it's not going to be a factor at all. Spets might catch this car in the corner at the wrong time, and he doesn't care if he does or doesn't. He's going to try to take that second spot. He is right there within arm's length, and it's going to be a rocket launch down the straight for both these drivers. Boost all being dumped right now, nose to tail with each other. It looks like Corbs has a better boost line, but Spets has more of it done. Corbs defending down to the inside. Spets looking up onto the inside. Spets with a switchback opportunity. Looks down to the inside. Corbs is trying to keep that traction in there. Spets is right there, as it's going to be Spets and Corbs side by side. What takes the win? Corbs and Spets is going to be side by side. Corbs able to hold off the charging Alex Spets for second place. Spets was right there, half a second behind him. What a lap by Spets and Corbs, and what a battle. Michael Bariani takes the LMP2 Pro win here at Sebring. He's going to be happy. Italian pride all over the place right now, and I can guarantee his father's happy about that win. As a battle for fourth between Garoli and Carroll. Nose tail heading down Sunset Bend. They're going all the way below the apron, right up to the wall in the runoff technically. And here comes Garoli off the exit. Carroll had a big lunge right there, almost got into the back, and you see the flash of lights in celebration. Garoli takes fourth, Carroll takes fifth, as Jack Geiler, he was driving underneath that Florida moonshine, headed through Sunset Bend right now, as that 272 takes the Pro 2 Amateur victory, the LMP2 and victory. There's the excitement wiggle right there. And the Drive Dev Academy driver takes that class win, as Marco corrects himself and actually spells Discord right.
Let's say that was an eventful race, Austin. In all
Yes.
the classes, we see surprises. Even in P2AM, where Geiler won comfortably, a lot of the quick guys in qualifying were involved in drama at the beginning of the race and had to drop out. I'm thinking, of course, of Blackworth, Mass. So, excitement. Sebring always delivers. Here we go with the results. With the LMP1 results, there's Austin.
Yeah, LP1 is Lennart Rart taking the win ahead of Jan Corbs. Up behind him, Alex Betts in third after that incident. Gets back onto the podium, but I can guarantee you he's not going to be happy about this race. Simon Calhart's in fourth place, followed by Marco in fifth. Daniele Pizzo in sixth, followed by Balog in seventh. Ollie Cole and Carlo Labate behind them, with James Armstrong and Nicholas Schneider. Multiple laps down, retired from the race, and both of them having a very nightmarish start to this race, and they want to forget Sebring.
Absolutely. Someone who will not want to forget Sebring is Michael Mariani, winner in LMP2 Pro in front of Giuseppe Muglialo, Lorenzo Castellani, Riccardo Geroli. Owen Carroll rounds up your top 5 in front of Maxim Zuevsky, which I think, and don't quote me on that, but I think we'll have to enjoy a meeting ban for next round, but I might be mistaken. Always read the rules and wait for what the stewards will say, because he qualified with a qualifying ban on his shoulders. We'll see, of course. We'll wait in the week when the stewards make their decisions. Francesco Panetta comes back, then we have to finish in 7th place of the class, Omar Robledo, Lorenzo Zoffoli, and then if we go down below, we also find our winner of the LMP2 amateur classes, Jack Geiler. Then it's a mix, of course, of Pro and Ams. Zivi Zabo, what a great comeback for him. Sadly, small mistake ruins everything. He has to settle with 20th overall. Remember, the LMP2 guys are scored globally, so they score points for the finishing position they have in LMP2 regardless of their class. Martin Tailgord, James Parker, Thomas Sorensen and Connor Gibbs. So Connor misses out barely on the podium in his debut race in the championship. Morten Kofoed in 25th. Anders Lillejordet in front of Gerardo Giaconetti and Andy Ticehurst. Andy Thompson finishes 29th overall in front of Roy Maas, Sasha Lowe, Hans Blackworth, and then drivers who had trouble: Andrea Petronella, James Armstrong, Teemu Milikangas, Niklas Schneider, and Julius Brown. So Austin, as I said, very exciting race. We can have a chat, you can have a chat with Lennart Hart, the winner.
Yes, I'm standing by with our overall winner, Lennart. How you feeling after that one? And what was going through your mind when you passed Spets in the pit lane?
I couldn't believe it. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't feel like a win because Alex was just so rapid again on a track that is supposedly a Porsche track. But we just couldn't do anything against him. We spent so much work on the setup, tried to perfect it. But there was just absolutely nothing we could have done, and without the LMP2 taking Alex out, Alex would have just walked away with the win. But I can be happy with the points haul, not a single incident win. So the points haul is good, but it's not where we want to be. We want to be there on merit, not on luck, other people not making it finish.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Spets is on another level with the pace, but you were up there as well, and taking second place on merit, or just finishing on the podium on merit. It's always a great result for you. And your pit stop was a little bit off sequence than everybody else. You were the latest pit stop. What was going in with that strategy?
Was I actually the last one in the pit?
Yes, you were the last LMP1 car to make a pit.
Oh, because I pitted. I thought I pitted fairly early and just wanted to dodge.
Oh wait, my SDK is showing that you went into pits at the last lap and said that was the last lap.
No,
I am looking blindly at stats and completely forgetting what's going on.
No, I basically was looking at my fuel number and saw, okay, I can't make it through the approaching LMP2 traffic, so I just pitted early and got it all of the way. So nothing special there.
Well, you avoided the LMP2 traffic, and it really worked out for you. And, well, hey, it gave you a good opportunity to stay ahead of everybody else. You were in a little bit of a fight behind you, but you were able to get yourself cleared that and up into second place. And then eventually the lead, if it was handed to you in not the way that you wanted it, it's still a win.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't really concerned about the guys behind because I know that even if Jan and Simon catch up to me, I can fight these guys. I trust these guys. They're my teammates. So if we would have started fighting, then it would have been just a nice bit of show for you guys. But yeah, if I can avoid fights, of course I'm gonna try it. But today we just weren't where we were supposed to be. Hopefully we can be a bit quicker at Hockenheim.
Well, it's a win for you. Before we let you go to get ready for Hockenheim, anyone you want to thank?
Definitely Niklas Schneider for investing so much time and building the setup with me. Of course, my teammates, yeah, and our sponsor for this series, Vulcano.
Hey, once again, congrats to you on the race win. You have yourself a great week, man. And Marco is standing by for our next interview.
Thank you, Austin. Yes, we are going to have a chat with Owen Carroll, who finished in 5th place in his class. Owen, welcome to the booth.
Hey guys.
So 5th place in the end in P2 Pro. It looked like those final 20 minutes were very chaotic around the position you were. Tell us more about your race.
Yeah, I mean, the qualifying I expected to be not as high as, like, you know, pole, for example. So I thought, okay, I'll get myself into a nice place at the start, and I felt quite comfortable. And at the hairpin, I still don't know what happened exactly, but I was hit, had damage, and thought, okay, well, let's just salvage something, and tried to pick off as many places as I could. And then Francesco came along, and I thought, well, they're the team we're fighting, so I'll give him a good battle, and we did. And then came in, got the fast repair, car was fixed, and back to normal. So I thought, okay, let's just lap as fast as we can and see where we end up. And 5th was pretty good, actually.
I mean, of course, I'm sure you already have plenty of experience driving in these conditions, but how was it driving at night? Especially, you know, Sebring, this is one of those places where it is ready for night lighting in iRacing terms, but there is a lot of places that are dark. So how was this element of racing in the night?
It's definitely a lot different than usual. It's yeah, with the reflectors, it doesn't help much. It's kind of sometimes off-putting in a way, I feel personally. But no, it's a lot more intense, and all you just see is headlights around you, so it's all very chaotic in general than just racing normally in the day. But yeah, it's a lot more intense racing at night, and I quite like it actually.
Next week it's Hockenheim. Are you ready for it? What are your expectations?
I am. Usually in the LMP2 Fixed Series in iRacing, I do semi-decent there, so hopefully with the setup I can do a bit better than usual. But yeah, I'm feeling confident for Hockenheim, and hoping that we can do something better as a team than today.
Awesome. Well, Owen, congratulations on a very nice top 5 in difficult conditions. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the people watching, and Next Level Racing as a sponsor of myself as well.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, and we'll catch you next time, hopefully.
Thanks, guys.
And Austin, we can have a very quick one with our 3rd place finisher in the amateur class, which I think is Thomas Sorensen.
It is Thomas Sorensen. Thomas, how was that race, and how are you feeling?
A bit of a roller coaster, actually. I feel like I had decent pace in the first half of the race, and then I made a mistake and I went off, so I had to pit early. And then I couldn't really find my pace afterwards. So, yeah, a bit of a roller coaster, but all in all, pretty good, I would say. Ended up P3, I think, in our class.
Yeah, you finished up on the podium in the LP2 Amateur Series. So, yes, you do finish up on the podium with them in 3rd place. So, that is some positive that you can take away about there. But, yeah, it seemed like traffic, LP2 Pro and LP1 traffic was all over the place. How are you dealing with it?
I feel like I did all right, except when I went off, I kind of misjudged. I think it was Sasha from my class I was trying to overtake with a lap, and I misjudged it and I went off. But otherwise, I think it was all right. But of course, it's pretty hectic, especially when it's dark. The only thing you can see in your mirrors is just lights.
Yeah, when it's just lights, it's usually very distracting. But hey, you did very well with that 3rd place. Before we let you go and get ready for Hockenheim Ring, anyone you want to thank?
Just you guys. Amazing broadcast, and you're broadcasting this series. Really cool, and you all do an amazing job. And then, of course, I want to thank my teammate Morten and our team CTS Racing.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Pretty sure everyone is very proud of you, and thank you for that shout out too. It means a lot to us. You have a good rest of your week, Thomas, and we'll see you next time in Germany. Marco, any closing thoughts?
Well, fantastic stuff as per usual. Sebring never. Oh man, Sebring never fails. to deliver. I just sent Thomas in the other commentary box unwittingly, like I didn't do that on purpose, but it almost looked like I was taking revenge for what happened earlier. So I mean, it's one of those nights, you know. But yeah, Sebring
They
was
tried
fantastic.
to intrude us, we could intrude them.
Yeah, I mean, but Sebring was fantastic, and really can't wait to see how the multi-class action develops around Hockenheim. So can't wait for next week.
I'm excited for next week as well. Thank you everybody for joining us here for round 4 of the Wave Italy Apex Racing League Prototype Championship here at Sebring. We'll see you next week for round 5 at Hockenheim Ring. I've been joined by Marco Barbanera, and I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.